Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Geo Event Studio. I'm your host, Anuk, and today I have a very special guest joining us. She's not just a personality development coach, but also a content creator on all things related to personal growth, human potential, psychology, and lifestyle. Her insights have helped countless people and individuals build better lives through her actionable advices. I am thrilled to welcome Ipsita Das to the show.
Thank you, Anup, for the great, lovely introduction. I'm always curious about how the host is going to introduce me, but yeah, this was amazing. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you, and I'm actually looking forward for this podcast since a long time. So I will not waste any time. So Ipsita, let me start with this. It's absolute pleasure to have you here. But before we dive into our discussion, could you please tell our audiences and everybody who is watching this something about yourself and your journey, how you came through till here?
Sure. I get that question a lot on social media, especially. And I would say it was nothing professional in the beginning. I think just trying to be better and developing personality, trying to look at how what are the hurdles that are in my way and how can I kind of handle them better. That has been a very lifelong inclination. Like I remember speaking to my one of my childhood friends like 2 days ago, and we were meeting after a very long time, and she was just like, whatever you're doing on social media right now, we used to do it back in eighth grade. We were basically we used to bench with each other. We sat with each other. So this was something that was very influenced by my childhood. My parents are very much into reading, and my dad is he's the first motivational speaker of my life. So, and my mom got me into reading and all of those. So I think it's a complete mix of those influences, and I've traveled a lot. Apart from these personal curiosities and inclinations, that's when I decided to go for the formal education, which was I got certified as a soft skills trainer, an image consultant. Then I studied communication in India. Then I went to New York to study media and psychology and liberal arts and all of those things. So it was a complete mix of all of these different factors that got me into this. It's been a very long journey, but it's turned into work very recently.
Okay. Very interesting. I just wanted to know, like, you've done it in India. You had your education base in India, then you went to US, New York, to do your masters, and
No,
then
no. It was so that was not a master's. That was something different than an Indian degree. It was a transfer degree. So
oh,
my
because,
degree, yeah. So my
oh
degree from
yeah,
India,
yeah,
I took that and transferred to the US.
transfer. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So how was your experience, especially into personality development? Because I have seen a huge amount of difference. Probably what India versus abroad or any other country was there 10 years back, and what it
Hmm.
is today, and what it's going to be in the future. So,
Hmm.
what is your perspective on this topic,
Hmm.
comparing both the countries?
In terms
Because
of the
you've
academic
studied
systems.
not even academic systems, but how personality development works in both the places.
Right, right. Um, I think the main difference is that India is, or Asia for that matter, is a very collective consciousness, or there's a very collective angle to personal development. So it's always relational. It's in
Mhm.
relationship to other people. In the US or in the West, it's much more individualistic.
Okay.
So for example, let's just take a very basic example of academic systems, right? In India, there's always this hierarchy in schools and colleges. अगर
Mhm.
आपके teachers है, if your teachers are there, if your professors are there, if your seniors
The
are there,
rank.
it's always a hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
And you're almost expected to follow that hierarchy, because if you fall out of that hierarchy, then you're kind of vanished in a way. Um, in the US, it's very different in the fact that I think that was also very like first-hand cultural shock for me in a good way. That, oh wait, the teachers or the professors or people in general, no matter older or younger, they treat you at an eye level. They treat you at a very basic level. you're also expected to call them by their first names, treat them at an eye level. If you don't do an assignment, you're not going to be shamed in front of the entire class for that. And that is just a very basic example of how the academic system works, but that just kind of bleeds into even your everyday interactions with other people. Um, I've spoken to people, I've made friends from New York who are 70 plus, who their first names, and we basically speak to each other like friends. And there's no family in front of me, ahead of me, and you're older. So you're expecting a certain type of behavior on my end. So I think this is the very first step to step into that personal development sphere. Best versus our side of the country, our side of the globe.
Hmm. Interesting take, actually. Uh, I would dive it more probably as we go deeper into our podcast about the difference. But I just like, what inspired you to pursue this career? You told me it's not just been uh, it's turned into profession recently, but it's been there since a long amount of years that you have been studying that, you have been seeing that with
Hmm.
your parents, the society around you, and all. But what was that
Hmm.
one moment that you were sure shot? Okay, fine. This is
Hmm.
something that I can get
Hmm.
into, coaching and content
Hmm.
creation. And how did you find your market in India?
Right. I think that's a beautiful question. Um, so I'll say about 5 years, a very long time. Years. I was because this was a part of me that I never
Okay.
looked at as a career. It was just a part of me that I would, talk to about to my friends. I would watch podcasts and that kind of stuff all the time, but I never really considered this a career. I considered this a career when one of my friends so my first degree was in Baroda, in Gujarat, my first college degree, right? So one of my friends, they pointed it out to me one fine day, and they were like, "Why don't you get into this personal development zone? And this course is going to be perfect for you." Which is when I got into getting certified internationally as an image consultant and a soft skills coach, which includes emotional intelligence, communication skills, interpersonal skills, and all of that. Um, so that was the very first hint that somebody gave me from the outside, but it was still not a career. I started taking personal, like one-on-one sessions in 2019 after I finished my course. And after that, I did that for a while. I moved to New York. I stopped my sessions because naturally I could not, I was studying this, I could not continue the sessions altogether. Somewhere along the way in New York, maybe because of the personal, like the exponential amount of personal growth I was going through,
Okay.
after a point of time, I think I started my content creation journey around this sphere in 2021. It was August, I think it was August 2021. I just told myself that if I don't get jump on the bandwagon right now, it's going to be too late, especially the
Mhm.
content creation, the wave.
Hmm.
And I just committed to myself
It
that
was at
I
its
told myself,
peak at that time.
oh yeah,
August
it was
21
just
was the
starting to,
peak.
it was just about to take off. And I realized because something kept bugging in me for a long time that I should be doing this, I should be doing this, but I'm not doing it. So because there was always this, as a kid, I wanted to be a teacher. So there was, and then I got into personal development. So there was this sweet spot between all of these things, right in the middle, where I could use all of those skills and my desires to do it. But the content creation journey started in 2021. I was about 7,000 followers or something at that point in time. And I just told myself, no matter what, I'm going to post every single day for the next 2 months. That's what I told myself. So that was the time when I was, and surprisingly, I was able to do that in New York because my lease ended and I hadn't found a house by then. So I literally put all of my stuff in a storage unit. I took a couple of backpacks with me, and for the next 30 days I couch surfed or crashed on my different friends' couches for that entire month while looking for the apartment, while creating content like on an everyday basis. So it was and also doing college, also lagging crazy behind on assignments and like writing to my professors all the time, something or the other is happening. And that's also a really good system there that they also give you that leeway. If you write to them telling in the West, if you tell your professors that today I'm not feeling well, my mental health is not okay, that's a valid reason to not submit your assignments and all of that. So I think that was also really helpful that way. And I mean, I posted for the next 60 days, and I think in the first, after the 30th day, somewhat, it went from 8 to 100 in about those 45 days. It jumped, the follow count just jumped, and it reached a lot of different people. And that's when the actual content creation journey started. And when I hit 100K, I also burnt out at that point in time. So I dropped everything. So that also happened. And then I was stuck at 100K for a year. 365 days, I was stuck at that. When I came back home, that's when I was able to restart that content creation journey, which was right now back in December. So that's how this entire content creation journey kind of, took place. In terms of my market, because I had been speaking about this for about 5 years plus, there was already an existing market that was ready to take my services.
Okay.
So I in the span of 2 months because this had been naturally being built up in the span of last 5 years. Because even though if you like really go down and if you see my pitchley like first posts, they were all about like fashion and clothes and all of that, the image side of things, image consultancy side of things. But even though I was putting that on the feed, my stories, my Q&As were still about personal development. So it was a very unconscious thing, subconscious thing that was even happening at that point in time. And very recently, when I started the work and there was this entire market of people already ready to, jump in with me, I realized that, okay, what am I thinking about when I'm thinking about nothing? And this is, I think, Zach Pogrub, like he's a very popular content creator right now on Instagram. He talks about obsession or the black flag and all of that. I think everybody knows him.
Yeah.
So I think one of this quote really, really, really stuck with me. I was like, okay, what do I think about when I'm thinking about nothing? And it was so clear. It was like right there in front of me that I've been doing this since I was a kid. So that's when I made the jump, and thankfully things have worked out really, really well.
I'm
A lot of
glad,
good
and
things are lined up.
I'm actually I'm very happy to see a lot of your reels and get a lot of knowledge out of it, because there is a different way in your recording. I think we just spoke about this prior to the session also, that um, there are different ways to put out a topic across the social media platforms.
Formats,
Pe-
yeah.
yeah, people, for example, Sharan does it in a, if you know Sharan Hegde, he does it in a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
comedy way, talking about finance tips.
Hmm.
So there are different ways to do it. So you directly take snippets of your sessions, so
Mhm.
that actually allows people to understand that there might be somebody who's replicating the same issue, and you have a solution for them, and they
Mhm.
can reach out to you. So that's actually a good way to put out actual, to truly tell you, I actually love the content that you're creating right now.
Thank you.
um, I have two questions from the thing that you mentioned.
Right,
The first journey of your content creation, you said that I will post for 60 days straight.
right.
How was that? Like, how did you find it? Because clicking on that post button na, is the
Hmm.
toughest part of a content creator.
Yeah.
ड्राफ्ट्स में सब लोग का सौ चीज रहेगा, ड्राफ्ट्स में रहेगा, but to post
Hmm.
it, publish it is something that takes a heck
Hmm.
lot of our thinking. So how
Hmm.
did that phase happen? And the second question is, what was your thinking and mindset when you were stuck for 100K followers for 365 days? How did you overcome that?
Right. Lovely. Yeah. So, addressing your first question, which was how do you get over the fear? Because at the end of the day, the backhand fear is fear of judgment, and especially not from strangers. No, no,
Yeah,
no. It's
from
basically
the
from people who are around you.
So
right?
true.
So
Your
that's a very
friends,
common, yeah, your friends, your relatives, what
your
are they going
relatives.
to say?
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients who want to become content creators, but they are just stuck at the fact that what if my bua sees this? What's going to happen? I'm going to blog them and all of those things, which are fair concerns. Which are
Yeah.
fair concerns, right? But the point is, I will tell this again and again, especially when you're starting out as a content creator, quantity over quality.
Hmm.
People get stuck in that perfectionism वाला जो एक loop है उसमें फंस जाते हैं लोग कि I want to launch my content creation career and I'm going to wait for next 30 days to make the perfect piece of video so that I post it and it goes viral. No, it's not happening. Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. The very first agenda in terms of your content creation thing, if you're somebody, whoever's watching, if you want to get into that, is always focus on create just generating a lot of ideas, and everything pen to paper. Generate a lot of maybe 50, 60 ideas or maybe 10 ideas. Chalo, if you're not able to generate 50. Out of those 10, pick out the top three. Okay. Shoot that, batch your content. So just say throughout the week, maybe you pick out Mondays when you have a lot of, energy for the week. Mondays you shoot. Sit and shoot those three ideas or five ideas.
Hmm.
Okay. Tuesday or Wednesday, you sit and edit. If you don't edit yet, which I'm assuming you don't because you're naturally starting out, right? So another day you edit, then you batch how to and when to post those content. So basically batch it. Batch करने से क्या
Hmm.
होता है कि you also save yourself from burnout.
Hmm. That.
And the same people, let me just tell you, the same people who even might possibly judge you or make a judgment or some sort of comments and all of that in this beginning part of your journey, when you start to do well, those are the same people who are going to start to support you in different ways, right?
Hmm.
And I want to suggest that you do not look at those people in an antagonistic way, because you creating a new identity also challenges their identity because they're very comfortable with how your
Who you
relationship
are.
is,
Hmm.
right?
Very
They're
true.
also very
Wow.
comfortable with who you have been and how your relationship is. And maybe they also want to do the same things as you do. But when you are actually getting up and doing it, it's almost like a mirror to people who want to do it but don't have the courage to do it. So, and that just they project it in different ways. So I'll suggest that don't take it personally. Have a very strong why. Why am I doing this? My personal why, getting on to my, second part of the question, my personal why for it was I know that if I don't do it, no matter whatever comes with it, if I don't do it right now, I am going to live a life of regret filled with what ifs. And that was more painful for me than the judgment or whatever would come along with this.
Okay. So a very close friend of mine, her name's Naya Buddha. She's a content
Yeah, I
creator.
saw.
You saw Nayab, right?
Yeah.
So she mentioned to me in the podcast, I asked her, what was your start of this journey? So she told me the exact same thing. She's like, why shouldn't I start? If I didn't do
Hmm.
it, I would have regretted this thing more
Absolutely.
than
Absolutely.
doing it. So,
Absolutely.
very nice. Interesting.
Yeah. So, like, whenever you're kind of confused between two choices, think about the cost of inaction. If I don't do this, how okay am I with the alternative or whatever comes after that? And you'll naturally see yourself that, okay, no, that'll be like 10 times worse. Let me just, you don't get to not suffer. You just have to pick one. You have to pick which one, how you want to suffer.
Interesting, man. So, Ipsita, like, do you want to tell the audience about not a lot of practical tips, but some, at least to our listeners, on how they can improve communication skills? And
Hmm.
also, how important is this in our day-to-day living in this world, at least? Because
Hmm.
truly speaking, I feel communication and at least the market right now is content creation. So
Hmm.
communication is a type of content, like I would put communication in content creation as well, because you're
Hmm.
trying to communicate through a video format, through a static format or anything. So how
Hmm.
important it is?
Right. So there are different types of communication. One could be just interpersonal, like you and I, we are talking right now, or when we talk to other of our friends or family. That's just one-on-one interpersonal communication. The other type is public speaking, where it's you versus a group of people, or it's you against a group of other people, which could be a boardroom, it could be auditorium, it could be anything. And the third is social media or digital communication, which is you putting your stuff out there. Right now, in all of these three, there are different approaches to take. Right, the first one, let's say one-on-one. Okay, the best way to improve your one-on-one communication is number one, it's very cliched but very true, which is listen. Listen, and when I say listen, listen in combination to asking more questions. Because what happens is whenever we are talking to another person, we want to believe that we are good listeners, but the point is oftentimes kya hota hai ki when I'm listening to you talk, I'm thinking about what am I going to say next. I'm not really listening to you. That happens often unless you practice that out of you, right? So the first thing is listen to listen and not to react or respond. Because हम क्यों ये सोचते हैं कि हम क्यों इस लूप में फंसते हैं कि हाँ आई एम नॉट लिसनिंग टू हिम, आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट व्हाट आई वांट टू से, बिकॉज आई फील लाइक इफ आई डोंट थिंक अबाउट व्हाट आई एम गोना से, आई एम नॉट गोना बी एबल टू से इट once you're done talking. But that's actually not true. That's exactly opposite. Because अगर मैं आपको अच्छे से सुनूं, then आपकी बातों से ही मुझे cues मिलेंगे. For example, like you just did. You asked me the last couple of questions based on my last answer. Right? This is because you really listen. So, listening is an art like that. Ask more questions. Agar, this is a very simple tip. If at some point in the conversation you don't know what to say and you can't carry on the conversation forward, just ask more questions. People love to talk about themselves. ठीक है, just ask more questions. No, everybody, we are just egocentric creatures. The reason I love doing interviews and podcasts and panel discussions more than anything else is because questions are like prompts for people to think and pull
Yeah.
out their personal experiences and then kind of go forward. So ask more questions, listen better. ठीक है. When it comes to public speaking, for example, it could be a meeting, it could be a boardroom. The biggest mistake that people make in public speaking is that we assume that if I'm on this side of the stage or the room, I'm going like it's me versus them. It feels like that, which is why people tend to get very nervous and intimidated in public speaking situations because हमें ऐसा लगता है कि मैं against ये, but no, that's not true. That's just let's reframe that thought process into thinking कि okay, no, I am here. These people need something from me. That's the mindset. ये यहाँ पे मुझसे कुछ समझने के लिए आया है. अगर बोर्डरूम में है, they need me to pitch the idea well so that they understand what we're going to do. If I'm giving a TED talk, these 500 people need to know what ideas I am there to present there. उनको क्या फायदा है? सब अपने फायदे के लिए आते हैं. Everyone, it's a very normal human thing. So, whenever you're in a speaking situation, whenever you're in a public speaking situation, turn your lens from this to this. Because the more self-conscious you are, the more anxious you are. Right? So turn your lens audience need from me. Right? And the second step in public speaking is talk like you're talking to one person. The main reason that some reels work and some reels don't, one of the main reasons, especially when it's like a talking head video, the kind of stuff that I do, it's because I'm speaking like I'm speaking to one person. जबकि सुन मुझे हजारों लोग रहे हैं. लेकिन हर उस इंसान को ऐसा लगता है कि मैं उससे बात कर रही हूँ. Right? So you don't know how to talk to 50 people at once, but you know how to talk to one person at once. Dr. Jordan Peterson, he talks about this a lot, and which is the reason कि whenever you are on a stage, ठीक है, या तो आप first दो रो के लोगों को पकड़ लो, just look at one person, then shift your. It doesn't have to be when you talk to that one person or that one person, everybody in the audience feels like you're talking to them. And then your impact also 10x's.
Got it. It's a
Right?
lot. Yeah, it's a very different perspective actually. A lot of people, as you mentioned, we all become self-conscious when we are on stage because
Yeah.
we think that the entire spotlight is on us.
Hmm.
But if we try to change our mind and put the spotlight on others, then you are sorted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because whenever something is more important than you, your self-consciousness melts away. So
Melts
right
away.
now, being a speaker, these people are more important than myself right now. I need to
Hmm.
take care of them. So naturally, my focus from myself will melt away. आप अपने ऊपर जितना ध्यान देना है दो, but before you get on that stage.
Yeah. Post that, then it's all different.
उसके बाद forget it. It's all
Forget it.
about them.
Hmm. True. Very interesting, Ipsita. So, like, because we're talking about this human behavior and all, I just wanted to put some thing into negativity and positivity.
Yeah,
So, uh, I know everybody will agree to the point that negativity spreads easier.
yeah.
Like, it's easier for people to consume because उसमें मसाला मिलता है लोगों को.
Hmm.
So, like, when you are talking to few people,
Hmm.
have you experienced any common challenges that people actually face
Hmm.
to push positive changes into their life, and
Hmm.
how could what do you want to tell on that aspect,
Right.
to shut down the negativity and to push the positivity, because pushing the positivity itself is like
Hmm.
thinking about the positivity, then pushing it, then keeping that change. It's like a big task in its own.
Hmm.
So, like,
Right.
something about it.
Right. 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 Sure. So I'll tell you one thing, the very interesting thing, which I also realized when I started doing my one-on-one sessions, is सबकी problem pretty much same है. I have actors as clients, I have students as clients, I have musicians as clients, I have founders and entrepreneurs as clients, I have teenagers as clients sometimes, because their parents get in touch with me. They're like, can you guide my, kid to kind of. So all of the सारी situations where there are people who are doing so well in their US corporate jobs, but they're still so unhappy because even though it pays them so well, they want more from life. They're not, the main problem is overthinking, procrastination, and these are the umbrella problems for everyone: overthinking, procrastination, and not feeling like you're good enough. That's all. If I
Okay,
had
I
to
have a question on that
literally
because I literally
categorize
completely.
my, yeah, that's also a very broad topic, right? It's a very interesting topic because ये सबका problem है. ये सबका
Hmm.
problem है. ठीक है. After a point of time, it also happened. It was so interesting कि एक point के बाद one-on-one sessions में I was like, are there new problems? Because I take minimum 3 to 4 sessions every day. And after
Hmm.
a point, I'm like, is somebody else coming up with any other problem than this? It was so fascinating. And I meant it in a very fascinating way that shit, like people are so similar, So the
Hmm.
main thing is that, okay, now the problem that happens with negativity is that in order to get rid of that negativity, we are naturally channelizing all of our energy in that direction in order to get rid of that.
Hmm.
So हमारा where energy goes, where your focus goes, energy flows. Right?
Got it.
It's a very cliched line, but it's really true.
True. Very true.
Even wanting a positive experience is a negative experience on its own. Because when I
Okay.
want a positive experience, I am focusing on the lack of it. कि नहीं है ये मेरे पास. ठीक है? तो naturally we kind of go down into that spiral. What I'll suggest when you're trying to overcome any sort of negative emotions or negative experiences or feelings in your life, number one cheese is do not focus on getting rid of the negative. Focus on building something else. Focus on building a positive part of your life. Could be building a skill, could be learning a new skill, could be maybe taking care of somebody in your family, or anything. Just pick up more responsibility.
Hmm.
Either personal responsibility, right? So, for example, a very simple suggestion that I always give, even on my sessions, is start by taking a pilot project. Anything that follow your curiosities, follow your fascination. आपको अगर pottery पसंद है या ceramics पसंद है, ठीक है, and आपकी corporate job है, तो आप एक ceramics का एक pilot project ले लो. Take a pilot
Hmm.
project, put a time limit on it. Because when you're picking up a hobby, also give yourself the permission to know when to quit. because you can't keep doing it indefinitely. Then it's again a lot of uncertainty and a lot of anxiety that comes along with never knowing when it's going to end. Even the good things, you need to know when the good things are.
About
There
to.
has to be like timestamps on that. Yeah,
Very true.
right? So, for example, pick a pilot project, follow your curiosity, step number one. Step number two, pick a pilot project around that. Step number three, put a time limit on it, एक महीना. Step number four, put an umbrella goal to it. For example, एक महीने में मुझे 5 pieces ceramics की फिनिश करनी है, ठीक है? अगर मुझे एक महीने में 5 pieces ceramics pottery की फिनिश करनी है, which means every week I at least have to do one or two
One.
एवरी
Yeah.
एवरी वीक, ठीक है, 2 pieces मुझे एवरी वीक फिनिश करनी है. उसके
Hmm.
बेसिस पे देन ब्रेक इट डाउन फर्दर कि अगर मुझे एक हफ्ते में 2 pieces फिनिश करना है तो मुझे आज के दिन कितना करना है, क्या करना है. देन हाउ आई एम गोना लॉन्च इट, हु एम आई गोइंग टू स्पीक टू अबाउट दिस, what are the first 5 people that I'm going to get in touch with about this,
Hmm.
right? All of this. So just make a very actionable plan of action for that. This is an example of how you can focus on building something, and that will naturally take away the insecurity or the negativity that exists on this other side. So you take care of negativity by channelizing your energy in a positive
In
direction
the positive
rather than
direction.
trying to channelize and getting rid of the negative. Yeah.
So basically, it's
And also just,
to put. Sorry, continue.
yeah, just like a last thing, which is any negative feeling plus its denial. That's what causes the suffering. Denial दो चीजों में, दो रीजन से हो सकता है. पहला होता है कि either I don't know that this feeling exists, or I know that this exists but I don't
But
want
I
it, I'm
want to
trying to
accept it.
reject it. But the
Hmm.
moment that I'm, yeah, I don't want to accept it, तो वहां पे suffering आता है. But as soon as you accept it, so there's this sense of ease that comes into it, because you can't be perfect. नहीं possible. Everybody has got their own set of problems to deal with. Everybody has been handed a set of problems in life.
To deal with.
So
Hmm.
this is your set of problems for you to solve. Just look at it that way.
So, to keep it into a shorter, like into an easier way, uh, whenever there's a negative situation that you're dealing with, uh, you say we should go try find
Hmm.
a task that would give us happiness. So when that happens, you eventually stop thinking of this negative
A
nature.
task, yeah, I'm not saying you're going to stop thinking, but your energy is going to get divided.
Hmm.
You're going to get divided, channelized into a positive direction. And that, because in order to accomplish that project or in order to accomplish that learning,
Hmm.
you will also build new parts of yourself, no? You'll also do something that you were not capable of yesterday, which increases your confidence anyway. That confidence will take care of the negativity.
Got it. Got it. And because you mentioned overthinking, uh,
Hmm.
that see this, I'll tell you, this is not just that people are mentioning it to you, but you always have a set of friends, and you are always a mentor to a friend in one or another particular format. um, so I have seen
Hmm.
it with a lot of people that overthinking is the only reason why they are like stuck at that place or that position or
Yeah.
something. So what
Hmm.
can people do? Because I
Hmm.
don't see a direct solution to overthinking. Because
Hmm.
कितना ही बोल दो आदमी को कि भाई सोचना ही बंद कर दे, वो किधर बंद नहीं हो रहा है उससे. तो like
Hmm.
what do you think about overthinking, and how can
Hmm.
people overcome it?
So overthinking, we can think about overthinking in two ways of dealing with it, which is mindset and technique. टेक्निक में बहुत सिंपल सिंपल चीजें आती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप ओवरथिंकिंग कर रहे हो किसी टॉपिक को लेकर, आप
Mhm.
प्रॉबली आप यहाँ पे एक स्पॉट पे बैठ के एक ही कमरे में बैठ के एक ही प्रॉब्लम को आप 50 अलग एंगल से एनालाइज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो,
Hmm.
ठीक है? बिकॉज यू नेवर रियली ओवर थिंकिंग व्हेन यू आर वॉकिंग अ लॉट और व्हेन यू आर मूविंग अ लॉट. व्हेन यू आर मूविंग अ लॉट, यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट सॉल्यूशंस रादर देन प्रॉब्लम्स. सो जब हम बैठे होते हैं या स्टैटिक होते हैं ना, दैट्स व्हेन देयर इज सो मच पेंट अप एनर्जी विद इन अस, वी यूज इट टू completely like drive ourselves crazy with problems. So overthinking is a problem of thought or excess of thought. First thing is move from that physical space. अगर मैं यहाँ पे बैठ के overthinking कर रही हूँ, I'll move and I'll go downstairs. If there's somebody in the house, great. I'll go talk to them, sit beside them. I'll go to the garden, go to the kitchen, make myself some coffee, do anything, or maybe call up a friend. But rather, get up and move from that room or that physical space. Because क्या होता है कि अगर किसी एक physical space पे we are thinking and overthinking about something a lot, what happens is we tend to associate that physical space with those psychological feelings. So
Mm.
every time you will feel like every time you walk into that room, if you have done, if you have overthought a lot in this entire space, you will get back into that room and you start to feel heavy, and those same thoughts will kind of attack you a lot. Right? So number one, change your physical space. Number two, really get yourself involved in physical activity. Could be some sort of activity that's fun. Don't make it drudgery. If you don't like the gym, don't go to the gym. If you enjoy playing badminton or some sort of other sport, do that. Right? Because the problem with overthinking is you're spending too much time in your head. You need to drop down into your body. You
Mm.
need to be present in your body. Okay. Number third cheese is bring your focus to where your feet are. Think about where your feet are right now.
Mm.
Feel it. So as soon as you do that, your immediate focus comes back into the present.
Okay.
Right? That is the one thing. Now, in terms of mindset, there's this tool I love to kind of suggest to my clients as well, which is called the Occam's razor. Okay, in
Okay.
terms of overthinking, Occam's razor is based on how nature works and how, the guiding scientific principles of nature. Any entity or any set of entities can only exist with each other in a simple arrangement by nature, and they cannot exist in complex arrangements. Now, how do we apply to overthinking? So, for example, are driving on the road and your car, you're not going to get out of the car and throw it instinct. No, you're going to look at the tires and see if there's a puncture of some sort. No, puncture is fine. Nothing wrong with the tires. Then I move on to the next a little bit more complex explanation, which is maybe the battery is wrong. There's something wrong with the battery. I look at the battery and I'm like, acha, battery is a problem. So now I'm going to work on the battery.
Mm.
Imagine if I was driving and my car broke down and I threw the entire car away in the very first go. But that's what we do with overthinking. Now we assume the worst as the very starting step. Anything negative happens, our imagination just jumps off to the worst possible scenario. But that's just unnatural. The possibility of that worst possible thing happening is the least.
Least.
Hmm.
So I have a question to this because a friend of mine,
Hmm.
sometime when I told her about this, she said that why I asked her why do you overthink so much and put it to the extremes. So she tells that I am preparing myself to think about the extremes. So whatever happens below it is not actually affecting me.
Not a shock.
Huh.
Hmm.
So how to deal with that? Because she's spoiling her entire time, energy, her peace of mind
Yeah.
into thinking of something that has like point 0.1 chances, percentage chances of happening.
Hmm. Hmm.
But in the entire
Hmm.
process, and she's trying to justify it as well.
Right. Justification is the main issue. Because see, sometimes there is another school of thought, the Stoic Mori school of thought that talks about this, which is like assume the worst, think about your death, visualize it, and then everything else is a cakewalk. That's
Cakewalk.
one way to think about it. ठीक है, there
Okay.
might be people who can deal with that or who can handle it, who can do that and still operate normally. But
Hmm.
at an average, most people are not like that.
Hmm.
Most people overthink themselves into ruin, into analysis paralysis, into, declined health, and all of those things. So now the understanding this worst case scenario is that the possibility of that worst case scenario happening is very less. It's the most improbable thing. So, for example, if I come across a
Hmm.
problem, take for example, I texted you something, or if I texted my friend something on WhatsApp and they didn't respond, they saw I saw the blue tick and I did, and they didn't respond. And if that is something that bothers me, my first thought is, what did I do? My first thought is, what did I do? What is the natural, being left on scene and all that, because this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, especially with social media, especially with so much digital, because you don't know what that person is doing, what they're thinking. Did I say something that was wrong? So this happens a lot, right? So now if I sent a message and it's seen, but it's not responded to, and it's a question, right? My first thought is going to be like, what if they hate me? Did I say something wrong? But look for evidence. Look for
Hmm.
evidence that you're talking, whatever you're thinking. Where is the evidence?
Hmm.
That did I really say something wrong? Did something happen in the past? So if I drive myself crazy thinking about the worst possible scenario, I'm not going to be able to function. Rather, it's possible. No, what is the simplest possible explanation? कि maybe they're just busy. ठीक है बहुत बार हम मैसेजेस देख के maybe they just went into the shower, could be
Another
anything,
task.
maybe they're in the middle of a class, a session, कुछ भी हो सकता है, जबकि वो सबसे ज्यादा चांसेस है वो होने के,
Chances
तो
are.
भी we assume the worst, right? So a simple way of dealing with that is think about the simplest possible explanation, look for evidence
Hmm.
to either confirm that or negate that. एंड अगर कंफर्म हो गया तो आपका काम वहीं पे खत्म हो गया, ठीक है? अगर नहीं हुआ तो then you can move on to the next possible
Next
explanation, which
possible.
is like, okay, what else could have happened? And another thing I suggest for overthinkers, ठीक है, which is a big part of the population right now, if you have a question, ask. Do not assume. People are very open to answering your questions and answering your curiosities, answering your just doubts in general. But आपको
Ra-
पूछना पड़ेगा.
Rather than dealing with the whole overthought situation, it's easier to give
Communicate.
answers. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Social
Very
media and
interesting.
WhatsApp and ये सब का culture must have become like that, that okay, no, there's a lot of nuance, a lot of unnecessary nuance around, okay, I texted first, this person should text me after that, I'm not going to double text, and all of that. There's a lot of baggage that comes with it. I suggest simplify it, keep it simple.
Simple.
मैसेजेस आते हैं, अगर आप फ्री बैठे हो तुरंत रिप्लाई करो,
Yeah.
अगर नहीं बैठे हो फ्री अगले दिन करो, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट डू नॉट आपका जो खुद का जो कॉग्निटिव लोड है ना उसको कम रखो.
Kamrako, yeah.
दैट्स इट.
Very true. So, so you do you also suggest, because you told about mindset? It's just a quick thing before I get into the next set of my podcast. Um, how important is to have a clear mindset on certain things? And what do you suggest for people to keep up a positive mindset? If you can tell about it.
Right. I think a very good way of reframing a positive mindset is a clear mindset, is clarity.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Because positive would be like, okay, no matter what happens, a good way of thinking about positive mindset is कि कुछ भी होता है, अच्छा होता है, बुरा होता है, objectively, quote unquote, मेरे फायदे के लिए हो रहा है.
Hmm.
That's a good way to think about it. कुछ भी हो मेरे फायदे के लिए हो रहा है. And how do it benefits me. That's a good way of thinking about it. For example, अगर कुछ negative भी होता है आपके साथ, you know,
Hmm.
if you lose out on an opportunity, ठीक है? If somebody treats you in a way that you don't like, ठीक है?
Hmm.
If you relapse into your old triggers, your old behavior patterns, ठीक है? All of this are seemingly negative situations that are happening in life, but if I think about it in a way कि okay, um, now because this has happened to me too many times, I'm sick of it, and I'm not going to allow this to happen again.
Okay.
राइट, बिकॉज अगर ये अभी नहीं होता शायद 4 महीने बाद जाके वापस से होता है, मे बी
Okay.
आई वुड हैव हैड मच मोर टू लूज देन
Hmm.
आई हैव राइट नाउ.
Hmm.
So the entire point is just reframing. Reframing is king. Cognitive restructuring is one of my main tools in anything and everything. Because reality is very subjective. आपको यहाँ से 6 दिख रहा है, मुझे 9 दिख रहा है. But कौन कहेगा कि सही क्या है, क्या गलत है ना? तो perception is reality. Whatever you think about yourself is how you behave and act, and as that is exactly how the world responds to you.
Hmm.
ठीक है? So clarity, when it comes to clarity, which is lie as little as you can to yourself.
Hmm.
ठीक है?
True.
Because what happens is, in order to avoid pain and discomfort and everything, we tend to tell ourselves
Satisfy
comfortable
ourselves.
lies.
Hmm.
Yeah. We don't like to sit and face it. Because
Hmm.
उससे क्या होता है कि there was somebody asked me on one of the last week's Q&As कि intuition को कैसे strong बनाए. ठीक है, पहली बात तो intuition is such an intangible word. I don't like to talk about intuition and all of these things because that is not my job. Like I might use it personally, but I don't, that's not what I'm suggesting that my clients pay me for. But I still address that because it was a Q&A. And common understanding is intuition is when it's almost like your subconscious telling you that this is right and this is not, and it is always there. So my suggestion with intuition and with as well as clarity, they are attached to each other, is that intuition never really goes anywhere. It's always there. It's speaking. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It's a very popular way of thinking about it. It whispers. But your listening ability to your intuition or clarity of mind, that grows in proportion to how little you lie to yourself. आप अपने आप से जितना सच बोलोगे, उतनी आपकी listening power बढ़ेगी towards your intuition. You'll be able to, because you're more in touch with yourself, no?
Hmm.
So you'll know what your intuition is saying. And that leads to more clarity. Clarity
Very
thought
well.
आता है, could be an uncomfortable thought. Clarity is you basically think that entire thought till the end. You don't drop it where it gets intimidating or scary or confusing, but rather sit with that discomfort, think about, complete that chain of thought altogether.
So does this also
So I'll just give you a very simple example.
tell me.
Go ahead, go ahead. No, no, let's go ahead. I think we'll kind of catch up to it somewhere in the conversation.
Okay, so I just wanted to, like, does I've seen a lot of people, probably there might be a lot of people who are coming to you also, who are struggling with self confidence. मतलब
Hmm.
बंदा बंदी उन लोग को, they know everything, they're good at what they're doing, they might be able to talk to you personally, they might be able to do one-on-one conversations, but they lack on the self-confidence to take it ahead to a large number of audience. So how does, like, what do you
Hmm.
suggest for somebody to boost their self-esteem and confidence through some strategy?
Hmm. 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 So if I understand the question correctly,
Uh, Ipsita, I lost you.
it's about the scale. People are doing well things, but they want a larger number of people or social media. Okay. What was
No,
the last
I,
thing you
I
heard?
lost you from the first, from the answer itself, complete answer.
Okay, okay. Can you hear me right now? Is it fine?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So if I understand the question correctly, so these people are doing well in their own domains, but they want to scale it and they want to reach a larger number of audience through social media or digital media. Is that what you mean?
Not only through digital media or social media, it could be any aspect. Like they might be doing
Hmm.
really well at a particular situation, but they don't have the
Hmm.
self confidence to talk about it. They might have the knowledge, but they don't have the self confidence to shed that knowledge out to the entire platform that they are working in.
Okay. I think we're having internet issues, no?
Yeah, I'm losing you, but right now I can again check.
Mm, everything is.
When we do this, this is a very weird thing happening. When we're trying to
Huh.
set up the internet, no, everything is
Huh.
normal. Now I can see you in like HD clarity. I can hear you properly and all. Once we get into the podcast, no, the things go
That's when
not
it
down.
decides to.
Yeah. What is this?
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah, there is a lag, but I can at least hear you and all.
Okay. Okay. I'll start.
Yeah. Should I start the question again?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, um, talking about this mindset and self confidence, because there are a lot of people who might have reached out to you on boosting their self confidence. My question is like, if if there's a particular
Hmm.
person who is like having the knowledge about some domain or the work that they're doing, but they don't have the self confidence to share it across to the platform
Hmm.
that they are at. It might be content creation, it
Hmm.
might be just
Hmm.
writing a code and explaining the code to the other people in their team, or it can be anything. So what is your advice to those
Right.
people to boost up
Hmm.
self-esteem and confidence?
Okay. The first thing is the realization that there is no dearth of talent. There are a lot of people with talent and skills and knowledge and all of those things, but the person that you see in the forefront is the one who's able to communicate that clearly. And oftentimes there are people who are different than you, but they are in the forefront because they are able to communicate it to their merit. And there is nobody waiting to give you some sort of medal or some sort of communicating. At the core of level of romanticization of this underdog as well within ourselves sometimes, that there is always this feeling of कि मुझे पता है मुझ में talent है, like what is this person doing, they're not half even talented as I am, but they're doing so well. You know, if I would do it, if I could, if I do it.
Okay.
That's the thing. Do it because बहुत बार क्या होता है now this और होता है कि just some potential है to a certain height. ठीक है. Number one thing is I have to communicate it because मेरे बोले बिना सामने वाले को नहीं पता चलने वाला है what I'm capable of. ठीक है. Now the second thing is potential is practically nothing or potential is thin air until you do something about it. And the communicating part is the doing of it. The second step of doing. First step is you actually gaining the knowledge and doing your work. And the second step is doing it and like communicating. So unless and until you gather the courage to voice it out, right? The world is not going to know. And then there is that sense of comfort in also knowing that अगर मैं चाहता तो मैं कर सकती थी, लेकिन फिर आप वो व्हाट इफ को लेकर ही आप रह जाओगे लाइफ में. ठीक है. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग इज हैव ऑल ऑफ दीज रियलाइजेशंस. नंबर टू इज actually genuinely practice communicating it with people one on one
Mm-hmm.
first.
Okay.
Fight on everyday basis जिनसे आप रोज फोन पे बात करते हो शायद या टेक्स्ट पे करते हो. स्टार्ट टॉकिंग मोर अबाउट योर वर्क और मोर अबाउट योर प्रोजेक्ट्स विथ देम फर्स्ट. यू बिकॉज वहां पे यू हैव लॉट लेस टू लूज. आपके स्टेक्स बहुत लो है. डू इट विद देम. डू इट विथ योर लोकल ग्रोसरी वाले भैया. उनको बताओ अपने काम के बारे में.
Mm.
The point is start with practicing communication in low stake places, which is your immediate जो आपको पता है आपको जज नहीं करेंगे या who is just there for to help you do your best and your grocery वाले भैया उनको बताओ आप अपने काम के बारे में. Just get that feeling. First thing is to not actually overcome overthinking, rather get a taste of action. Confidence बाद में आता है, taste of action पहले लेना है कि कैसा फील होता है ये करके. Then you can scale that feeling with a little higher stake situation जहाँ पे मे बी आपने स्टोरी पे डाल दिया या चलो स्टोरी तो बहुत बाद में हो गया. पहले आप यू मूव आउट इनटू योर अक्वेंटेंस वाला जो सर्कल है या आपके वर्क कॉलीग्स वाला जो सर्कल है वहां पे आप धीरे धीरे बोलना स्टार्ट करो. देन मे बी यू पुट इट अप ऑन सोशल मीडिया, बट इट हैज टू हैपन इन स्टेप्स. It's going to be gradual. It's not going to be 0 to 100 in one go.
Very nice. Because you mentioned about the steps and all, right? It just I just recollected one of the reel that you created. I think it was about goal setting, and
Hmm.
you mentioned that if you want to go to the gym, uh,
Hmm.
your goal should not be like you want to go to the gym
Outcome
and
based.
Yeah, it needs to be outcome based, like whatever, how much ever you want to lift or something.
Mm.
But your first goal should be you want to get up at such and so and so timing,
Yeah,
master that thing, then you put on the next goal.
yeah.
So a very interesting thing, like how could you tell somebody to have an effective goal setting strategy?
Right. Effective goal setting is practically the opposite of which is have more process based goals.
Hmm.
Because जैसे हम outcome based goals रखते हैं, we already have something very out of our control. I
Hmm.
can't promise you that I'm going to lose 5 kgs in 1 month because I don't know because there are a lot of different factors involved with it, which is the kind of day I'm having. Maybe I haven't slept well. Maybe my macros are not tracked well today. So losing 5 kgs is not something that I feel like I have control over. But if I switch it into a process-based goal, which is going to the gym 3 days a week, ये पूरे मेरे कंट्रोल में है. That I can do. है ना? So have more process based goals. Put a time limit on those goals. So for example, if you want to do this, आप सोचो कि I'm going to do this for the next 30 days or 15 days. For my clients, I literally tell them do it for 7 days. Don't even go beyond that. पहले 7 days करो, then we'll talk again. ठीक
Yeah.
है. What the point is कि make it so simple and so easy कि आप डरते नहीं हो उसको करने से. Most of the things people fail to achieve their goals is because it's too big and vague and ambiguous
Hmm.
and there's no time limit to it. So it's everything is if everything is so up in the air, how am I going to do anything as a human being? So we need to specify it and
Streamline.
put a time limit. Exactly. We have to specify it, put a time limit on it. So which is why I talk about umbrella goals. For example, अगर मुझे 5 kgs lose करनी है in the near future,
Hmm.
what I can do is I can promise myself कि मैं हफ्ते में 3 to 5 days I'm gonna go, which means कि मुझे everyday basis पे मुझे कितने बजे bed, how what time do I have to go to bed, what time do I have to eat my dinner so that I'm fit enough for tomorrow and showing up at the gym. You have to
Hmm.
pre-plan it, break it
Hmm.
down into smaller pieces. Even simpler explanation of that would be if you find yourself feeling, finding no motivation to go to the gym, पहली बात तो motivation is for amateurs. Don't try to chase motivation. It's a very unreliable thing.
Hmm.
ठीक है?
Okay.
Instead of waking up and asking yourself, do I feel like doing it today? Wrong question. The right question is, what am I required to do today? If I have to go to the gym today, I wake up and the night before I have kept my shoes and my gym shoes and my workout clothes, everything on the side of my bed so
Hmm.
that there is very little friction between me waking up and going to the gym. Because अगर मैं उठ के, if I'm bathroom, brushing my teeth, then walking to the closet and opening up the closet and looking for my clothes, and if in that looking for my clothes for the next 5 minutes I get frustrated at any point, I'm dropping this.
That's
Okay, so absolutely that's it. फिर आप
maximum
भूल जाओ.
churn rate
So
near the wardrobes. Going
near
from
the
one.
wardrobe, right? Absolutely. That's the thing. That happens with all of us. It's so common. That
Hmm.
happens with all of us. Okay? So every point of friction that I give myself is an opportunity for me to drop everything. So I'm not going to give myself that. So I keep the friction as less as possible. तो मैं सारी चीजें मेरे आसपास रखूं. ठीक है? I wake up, I put on my shoes, put on my outfit, then I brush my teeth, wash my face, and then go. ठीक है. So that is one way of doing it. And also making it time specific in a way that treat it like an experiment. The biggest mindset mistake that people do with or all of us do with goal setting is कि मैंने goal set कर तो लिया, अब मैंने ये सोच लिया कि अब ये मुझे अपनी पूरी जिंदगी फॉलो करनी है. And if I don't, I'm a failure. So like an experiment, 7 days I'm going to try this out. I will see if it's working or not, if I like it or not, if it's sustainable or not. After seventh day, I'm free to drop this. Nobody's tying my hands and asking me to do it. So just understanding and realizing that you have that free will. It's your life. You can design it exactly the way that you want. So if you don't like the gym, you can probably pick up a different spot or find out a
Spot.
different time of the day. So all of these things.
Interesting. Um, Ipsita, because you've told about how to have an umbrella of uh, goals, and then how to have process based goals rather than outcome based goals to achieve something in life. Uh, can I put this whole thing into calling it as a power of a habit? So so I have a thinking that
Hmm.
if you understand the concept of power of habits, then that is something that is
Hmm.
shaping your life, because you get into a loop of following a particular
Hmm.
habit. So
Hmm. Hmm.
if you can tell us something, how important it is to build a habit, or how tough it is to
Hmm.
break a habit as well, and why is this
Hmm.
thing
Hmm.
effectively important for a life?
So
Okay.
James Clear in his book Atomic Habits, he talks
Mhm.
about this, and it's a very popular system. So wherever you see consistency, we feel like it's habit, but it's actually also systems. And habits and systems can be a little bit synonymous with each other. Systems matlab, I am doing certain tasks on a repetitive basis at regular intervals while making it very easy for myself and very, very convenient for myself to do those tasks. And that structure or that ecosystem over time means that I have a good habit or I have a habit that I can be consistent with. For example, if I'm a
Hmm.
content creator, okay, and if I'm somebody who's posting every single day, and if you see me posting every single day, which means that I figured out a system that can be replicated over time, right? Which means that, for
Hmm.
example, if I feel like I have a dearth of time, if I don't have enough time to create content, I'll just I'll with my client's consent, I usually sometimes record the sessions where it's just me talking and their voice or their face is not in it.
Is not
But
there. Hmm.
now that can be used as my content,
Hmm.
right? The editing is done so now and I have created something that is system in place, basically. So in order to build, can you hear me fine?
Yeah, it's breaking a bit, but I can hear you. So basically, I can hear you properly. There's no problem with the audio.
Okay.
The video gets on lag sometimes.
Hmm. Do you think we should continue here? ये वाले spot
Yeah,
पे?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ठीक है. Um, so in order to build a new habit or in order to build a habit, number one thing is make it easy for yourself to do it. For example, the same thing that we did with the gym and the shoes. Make it easy for yourself to do it
Hmm.
and make it a comfortable part of your everyday life. So, for example, if you're somebody who gets anxious in session meetings or office meetings, right? So now, if now you know that your meetings are going to happen as an everyday part of your life for 5 days of the week, you cannot make a big deal out of it. So, sometimes what happens is if there's a meeting at 4 p.m., you're not going to do anything all day and just like focus on that one meeting,
4 p.m. Hello.
right? Now this is destructive because this, it's going to happen every day or every other day and it's going to happen often. So now you're not making it a habit. You're making it as this one big special event. So this is more like a mindset thing where make it a normal part of your everyday. So follow your mind that you have to do that habit. Don't make that habit this big deal. Like don't make this big deal. Like don't make
Hmm.
going to the gym as a very big deal. Don't make eating healthy meals as a very big deal. As soon as you make something a big deal, you're telling yourself that it's separate from your life. So it's difficult to keep it sustainable.
Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting and amazing take actually on how to go about with the power of habits. Ipsita, just on the last part of the podcast, can you give us two major tips or advices for somebody who's looking
Hmm.
on? It can be
Okay.
as short as possible. Somebody who's looking on to embark on a journey of self improvement. Two major
Hmm.
first tips that come to your mind.
Hmm. As soon as you have a conflict with any other person, look at yourself first. What part did I
Mm.
play in this problem? That's the very first thing, right? And that's your beginning point of the rest of the journey. Number two is shorten your journey. shorten the time period between getting an idea and actually implementing it. As soon as you think it, do it.
Do
Keep
it.
the planning period as short as possible.
Hmm, very
Yeah,
nice.
just do it.
I hope the audience have taken that thing into mark. Uh, Ipsita, lastly, I just want to tell that uh, you are a Bharatnatyam dancer. Do you want to tell something to the audience about it?
Yeah.
How was that journey?
Yeah, sure. So whenever somebody, oh, that was amazing because it was, so my parents put me when I was 5 years old,
Hmm.
and I've been performing on the stage, which is why I love, talking to people. Just whenever somebody asks me that what would you be doing if you were not doing this? So this is my first straight answer. Like I'd probably be a professional performer, and it's been a very big part of my life. And yeah, I
I
think that
think
also adds on to a lot of life experience.
yeah, yes. I think Bharatnatyam also added or boosted up a lot of confidence in you since childhood because you've been performing so much on stage.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that was a great thing. Um, that's all the time we have today, guys, on the show with Ipsita. I would like to extend my heartful thank you to Ipsita for gracing us today with her presence and sharing her invaluable insights on personal development, on psychology, on habits, and on a various amount of things. Ipsita, your passion has been empowering others in a truly commendable way. And I'm sure our listeners who have gained a lot of wealth of knowledge today from the show uh, will be joining you on your social media journey. The link has been always there on the ticker below, where you can follow Ipsita for all her content. You can reach out to her if you are embarking on this journey as well. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining us
you.
today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anuj. You were a lovely, lovely host. I had such a fun time talking to you. And thank you to everyone who's joined to listen. And yeah, keep growing.
Keep growing. Crazy, thank you once again for joining us. To all the listeners, thank you for
And
joining us. But yeah, until next time, stay
okay.
inspired,
No, no,
stay
no, let's do it
motivated,
again.
and keep evolving. This is Anuk signing off from GeoEvent Studio. Goodbye, guys.